Hello YouTube folks out there, biohackers, athletes, or just people chasing a healthier or better lifestyle. I'm Victor Halthorpe, multiple times Olympian, professional athlete, and I'm today, together with my wife, also Olympic speed skater, Sofia Prosvino. We're gonna review this UltraHuman Ring Air. We're gonna test it for the next 2 weeks, and then we're gonna give you our feedback in this video on why we believe this could be the best tracker, the health data tracker out there. The reason we decided to reach out to these guys and test the product in the first place is because we simply gotten tired of the other wearables. We've been using Whoop for the previous 2 years, and we're just facing more and more issues with it. The charging times or the battery life length becomes shorter and shorter, and we experience these glimpses and glitches in our workouts, which happens to be in the most crucial times where we really want that heart rate data to give us the overall strength or strain of the day. And then ultimately we feel like it's a little bulky. We do a sport where aerodynamics is basically everything, and even in daily life it would just be so much cooler if we could have a ring instead of a strap. The reason we chose the UltraHuman Ring Air here is simply because their software seems to be so well functioning, and also in addition to that, it is the lightest device out there. And on the top of all that, there is no monthly fees. It's not a subscription service. You purchase the ring and you are good to go for life with this one. That said, at the moment we haven't tried it yet. So that's gonna be our first step here. We're gonna really see how the data works. In order to be able to give a good review, we need to know that it actually functions well. Before we made this whole video right now, the whole journey with the UltraHuman Ring Air started a week or 10 days ago when we received a sizing kit in order to test out the different ring sizes so both of us could find the ring that would fit us the best, just to increase comfort and for us to have the most precise data as we finally got the ring here that we received just today. Like I just said, now I got my wife here, Sofia Prosvino, with me.
For the last few years, I've been also tracking a lot of data with the different device, and I'm excited to see how this one works in comparison with the one I used to have.
Let's just get to the unboxing itself. As you can see here, the box is super slick. Basically looks like an iPhone case here. So that's one thing that makes a nice first impression, just straight as we received it.
I think unboxing is always very exciting because you don't know what to find in the box, and this one looks very pretty. Let's see what's inside. Very simple, very pretty. We picked the black color ring. I hope the battery life is a little better than Whoop. We got some cables inside to charge that thing, and it will charge the ring.
All right, rings unboxed. We're ready to get them charged and ready to put them on our fingers. Next thing is just to test them out there in the environment. We skate basically every single day. We bike almost every single afternoon, or we do weightlifting. So just super excited to see how that can track our workouts and especially our sleep and recovery over the next few weeks. And then
stay tuned and see you in the studio in 2 weeks.
Hey again, it's now been 2 weeks that I've been using the UltraHuman Ring and also the app, the software on my phone to track everything that I've done on and off the ice, on the bike, the gym, also when I'm not training, also when I'm asleep. So just gathering all these data and seeing what insights this actually allows me to track and how I can use that in my training and in my daily life, athlete or not. I'm a big fan of the idea of just wearing a ring instead of a strap that I've been used to with the Whoop. This is just super simple. I don't have to move it around anywhere. The only thing where I really noticed that I was wearing a ring is when biking. So holding around the handlebars, I can feel the ring, but I think that's just basically getting used to a new feeling, a new sensation. Took me about an hour, and then I was good with that. So the ring is definitely nice. It's so light. I really enjoyed that. It's pretty slick. It's smooth. The data that I managed to extract out of the ring, wearing it, and the software. My favorite is by far, I've been to a bunch of World Cups lately while wearing the ring, and I think my favorite feature, especially because that's not something you get with the competing brands, the Oura Ring, the Whoop, is the circadian rhythm and the advice based on how this constantly measures your circadian rhythm. So I've been traveling from time zone to time zone, and my sleep has not been as regular as I would have wanted it to be. But with the ring here, it really tells me every single day, like, you ought to go to bed at this time. It gives you a suggested go to bed time slot every day for you to really just get the most out of it and adapt. And it also tells you when to consume caffeine or not to consume caffeine, and in the evening when to avoid the blue light, avoid screens, and calm down. And I have been impressed by how accurate this is and how useful I found that to be. I really dealt with it nicely, and some of it might be knowing and some of it might be that little reminder. So I added the notifications on my phone, which is super nice. So it just gives you a little heads up, like, you know, maybe you should chill down now. And that's cool because I know that this is based on facts and my own body's response to sleeping or not sleeping enough. Another thing that I really liked is how this does not just give you the HRV score, which I think is super important, especially in technical sports such as speed skating, where your HRV system needs to be prepared for, you know, the movements you want to do in order to perform well. Your coordination has to be on point, and your nervous system really has to be ready. One thing that I like about it is that it gives you the HRV itself, but it also gives you a number, which obviously we're so individual. If I take Sophia, my wife, her HRV is almost always in the hundreds, where mine can easily on a bad day be down in the 30s, and on a good day I would get up to 80. So it's so different. And I think for a lot of people to really figure out where am I individually, and especially if you're working closely like I do with my coach, where we really base a lot of the things we do on the HRV form. It's so cool that this gives you just an HRV number, not the actual HRV number, but a 0 to 100. So you get that idea of like, how good is my HRV, not just the number of the HRV, because good can be really bad for some people and vice versa. One thing that I've noticed with the UltraHuman, comparing it to, for example, the Whoop, is that the Whoop is, I think they specialize a little more in athletic performance and elite athletes, whereas the UltraHuman, I find that it appeals more to a broader audience. I wouldn't use either of these for my workouts, or I mean, I would obviously use them for my workouts, but I wouldn't use them as my main device. I would have my Garmin watch, my course watch when training, or a bike computer if I'm on the bike, simply because the GPS is more precise in a Garmin device or a GPS tracking device than it is in a Ring or a Whoop device that's connected to a mobile phone. So for workouts, and also because you simply just get non-stop heart rate whenever you're wearing a heart rate belt. So if you want to look at it as you train, I would of course not just look at my phone every second when I'm on the ice. Therefore, for in workouts, I wouldn't use any of these devices. So I find that especially this one appeals more to a broader audience of just general improving your health, your well-being, your sleep, and just how well you can perform as a human, whether you're an athlete or not. One thing that I've been really stoked about is that I have not lacked any data. It never disconnects. That was one thing I feared, and one thing I was a little disappointed in my Whoop, that at times, especially when wearing it around my biceps, I simply don't collect data from a few hours every day, especially when training. That's been annoying. This obviously cannot really slide around, and it's pretty bulletproof. You can't mess up the ring. It's just around your finger. So that's been really nice, and that's one thing I enjoyed about having a ring and not a strap. Now, as a conclusion, if you haven't realized this yet, I'm a big fan of the UltraHuman ring. This is why I also decided that I am going to promote the UltraHuman. I spoke to them. They gave me a cool hoodie. Pretty sweet, simply because I like their ring and because I'm gonna keep wearing it. I asked if they could give me a discount code. They said yes, so that is just awesome. I'm gonna share that with you guys, and I am pretty confident that you're also gonna have a lot of fun and a lot of useful data insight that can help you, honestly. So yeah, if you don't already have a ring, I would go ahead and order one. The cool thing about it, I mentioned this a bunch of times, but I do really think that's nice that it's not a subscription service. You purchase this ring and you have it, you know. There's no hidden fees. I just know that for me, my Whoop has just accumulated to a ton of money over the years, where I know that from now on I won't be paying anything because I already have my ring here. Check that out. The link is going to be below. It was fun having you guys here. Love sharing my experiences, especially when it's stuff like this, cool equipment that I use myself that I can share with you guys. So look it up, read up on the UltraHuman, and get one if you are into health. See you for the next video. Bye-bye.